Yo, what's up, peeps? Well, Nick just jumped off. We're having some technical difficulties. Tequila, what is going on? We are going to get rocking here momentarily. Nick's having some technical difficulties, I should say. I'm not. But we are going to be talking to one of the largest, if not the largest, national wholesale companies, period, end of story. He's a good friend of mine, a past client of mine, a student of mine, but he has built a monstrous business that I take very, very little credit on. He really took what he learned from me and so many others and just ran with it and created an absolute monster business. And so here we go. My guy is here now. And so I want to get you guys, hearing from my guy, Nick, Mr. Nick Perry, doing multiple seven figures a year nationally with his business, marketing nationally with his business. And I want him to impress upon you something I've been talking a lot about, which is the transactional business is paramount. You have to build a transactional business. But as you do that, you have to be able to accumulate wealth alongside of that. And he is a shining star when it comes to that, because the amount of new businesses he got going on and what's going on in his world. And he's still back in his office right now, as you see him walk around right there in Austin, in his office, grinding the transactional business still to this day, because that's how much it means. So, dude, so excited for you to be here. So excited for you to be speaking at the Wealth Accelerator March 11th and 12th. And so it will be a blast for you to just share all your vibes there. But dude, let's let the people hear a little bit about you, brother.
Yeah, well, first off, man, dude, I'm so humbled to be here right now with you guys, because if it wasn't for Justin Colby, I would not be here. Justin was paramount in the early part of my success. He did a lot of he poured a ton into me back in 2014, 2015, 2016, and helped me get my business off the ground. So, if you guys aren't learning from him, you need to be. He's been a huge part of my journey and, a huge part of my success. So really appreciate that, man. But
Appreciate that.
I mean, for me, I started off, basically humble beginnings. I started working at the age 14 on the 10th grade dropout. I basically realized this public school thing was kind of a sham, and I wasn't really learning a lot, and I didn't feel like I was getting a lot of value. I got a promotion to be a store manager of a cell phone store at 16, and they needed me to work full time because they thought I was 18. And I said, well, I guess I'm not going back to school anymore. So I went and started, running the cell phone store. And then when I was 18, I became a personal trainer, and I did personal training from 18 to, 24. And I realized, I was doing really well at personal training. I had a full book of clients. I was, working from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. every night, but I was trading time for money. And all my clients were wealthy. They were rolling up in Bentleys and taking vacations to the Maldives and had these baller houses. And I was like, I'm doing something wrong. So through interviewing my clients, I realized, oh, this person owns a real estate company. This person owns this kind of company. And, success starts to leave clues. So that's when I really got the entrepreneurial bug, was when I started interviewing a lot of my wealthy clients. And I realized if I was going to make it in this world, then I needed to go out and start something for myself. So I moved down to Austin, Texas, 2014, $5,000 to my name, had no job, no connections, no friends down there. I moved down in an air mattress and some, clothes in a freaking trash bag. And I moved down to a 1-bedroom apartment in the hood. And I sat down on my laptop and I said, all right, what business am I going to start? And so I dug into real estate. Next thing you know, I see Justin Colby's face popping up on YouTube. I started seeing Sean Terry. And
yeah. And the rest is history, right? You just earn multiple millions a year because you just snapped your fingers and it's easy, right? You got me? Oh no, my guy dropped off again. All right, so do me a favor while we're waiting for my guy to get back on here. If you are watching live, you are not going to want to miss this. Stay tuned because he's going to jump back on. Give me your name, the level of experience you have, and what market you're investing in. And also, if you're wholesaling, flipping, buying, and holding, give me all that information. I'm going to give you a shout out as we were trying to buy time because Nick's. Oh, I got you, Nick. You're up. There it is. Hold on, I got to drop this guy.
Drop that guy. I'm just Nick now. So I'm doing this on my phone. I'm running and gunning today. So whenever a call beeps and I get knocked off, I'm just declining it and I'm jumping right back in. Um,
Done.
yeah, but yeah, so that's how I got my start was, just YouTube University. And I realized YouTube University wasn't going to take me to where I needed to go. So I flew my butt out to Arizona. I went and saw, Justin. I went and saw Sean Terry. I plugged in with those guys, got into the mastermind, got into the boardroom, really started applying myself. And they got me from, that point in my life when I had absolutely nothing to being able to quit my full-time job at Indeed. And, from that point, I went on to make, multiple seven figures and, now I'm continuing to grow. And, by God's grace, now I've got the opportunity to make several billion with the current opportunities on my plate.
Yeah, dude. And I want you guys to really hear what Nick is talking about because I met this guy when he literally had nothing. He was probably going through one of the most personal, difficult times I've heard in a long time. He was going to do this no matter what. He was going to make it work. And if anyone is out there listening to this and meeting Nick for the first time, he is speaking at my Wealth Accelerator. I'd encourage you to get there. Go to wealthacceleratorevent.com. But the point here is, and we're going to get into more of what he's actually able to do and share with you guys, but it doesn't matter where you're currently at right now. You can create it. You can make it. You just need to believe and surround yourself with the people that can help you get there. He said it twice about how he just came out to Phoenix and he surrounded himself with me and Sean Terry and others and joined a mastermind. That's what helped him get. Now, we are a small part of that. Now, he still had to work his ass off to get to where he's at today, but we are able to pour some gas on someone that had the fire already lit. That's all we did, right? And he had that fire. We poured some gas and then he took off. Many of you watching this right now are in a very similar state. You have the fire, you're ready. You just need to be around the right people. So the point is you need to, shameless plug, you need to be at the Wealth Accelerator. Nick will be there. I will be there. You heard from Brett Tanner, Ken Clothier will be there. Cody Sperber will be there. Jamil Pay. I mean, this is game over for those that have that fire. And so I'll mention it again, wealthacceleratorevent.com. Get there, be live. It's $97 for God's sakes. And you'll be able to spend time with Nick and so many of these top players. Now that I've done that plug for the event, wealthacceleratorevent.com, let's talk about like this idea of transactional business and making money and keeping your eye on that lead horse, right? I've talked a lot about this recently. You yourself have multiple businesses now, but you're still in your office in Austin, working with your team real time today, right now, because you can't take your eye off the lead horse because it creates all the other opportunities that you've now be getting, right? And, from your coaching opportunity to your oil opportunity, to your trucking opportunity, all these things that I know about you as a friend is because it was built off of the back of your lead horse. So I want to kind of get into that. And also I want people to realize, dude, this is the largest national wholesaler there is, period, end of story. You need to learn what he knows in terms of marketing, sales conversion, deal flow, building a team, like all these things Nick is a master at, right? So let's talk about your current business and how it's built currently.
Yeah, right now, it's pretty simple. We're not doing, rocket science here. I don't have this massive, huge operation. I'll take you out into my office right now. I think, rather than tell you, showing you is probably the best way, right? A lot of my guys are already taking off for the day. Some of them are still here, but you can see, I'm walking out into my sales floor right now. This is our acquisitions over here. Kyler's still here locking up deals.
Let's go,
As
Kyler.
usual. Yeah, we got Travis back here. He's doing all of our follow-up. He's the, lifeblood of acquisitions. He's making sure nothing slips through the cracks at all times. He's making sure we're staying on top of what we need to. And then we've got, a few other acquisitions that have already gone home. Then we got Dispo right here. Dispo, these guys are the guys that make the cash register ring. Obviously, 3 dispositions. Without them, we wouldn't make $1 in this place. So thank you guys on dispositions. Yeah, that's pretty much the breakdown. We, obviously we got Brandon. He just took off to the chiropractor, and that's it. I got a 3,000 square foot office here in Austin, Texas. You can see we got flat screen TVs, couches, Plecto boards, break room. There's my other act. He's locking up a deal right now.
Let's go.
Yep. They always go into this room when it gets serious. They lock themselves
That's
in
it,
there.
huh? Gotta get quiet.
That's the
So I'm going to hit
closer's
you with
room.
this real quick, Nick, because I use this software. And so look at the screen. I got a PPC noob here. Hit me with the knowledge. Guys, I will tell you, because we don't have all the time in the world. Nick, literally, I will direct you Nick's way if you really need to know more about PPC. But for someone who's just getting started, right, what would you advise someone, or what kind of tactical for 5 minutes can you review about PPC as a marketing strategy for them?
Yeah, so PPC is the lifeblood of my business. That's really all we do in terms of lead generation. It's going to give you the lowest lead to contract that you're going to get at any marketing channel. It runs circles around SMS, cold calling, texting, direct mail, all of that. So if you're not implementing that into your marketing your strategy, you're probably working too hard. So I would encourage you guys, to really start educating yourself and diving into generating leads through Google and Bing and some of the other search engines. That's going to give you a huge leg up on your competition, because those leads are going to be highly motivated leads. They're going to, close much faster. They're going to be easier to deal with, and you're not going to have to go through as many calls to get deals. The reason that my team is winning is because it only takes us 10 to 13 leads to get a contract. Where if you're, another company, they might be doing cold calling, SMS, or some other form of marketing. It might take them 50 or 60 leads.
Totally.
Right. So it's not that, we have a great team, great team, the most phenomenal group of people I've ever worked with. But we're not like geniuses or anything like that. We're just way more efficient with our time. So everybody thinks about their cost per lead, right? What about I look at how many man hours does it take to get a contract? How many hours of labor do I have to pay to get a contract? That's a real metric that most people don't pay attention to.
That's right. And you think differently because you've been able to build out. And what I'd also say is, when he just showed you his office, the point that I need everyone to understand, so many people see him or me or any of the names, right? All the people about building a team and having this big business, it's irrelevant. What's most important is actually how much money you're actually making per the person that's in your door, right? And he doesn't have a team of 40 people. You don't need a team of 40 people, right? You need the team of the killers that can actually convert as many deals as you need to make your goal. So if your goal, I think Nick, last year you did what, 3 million last year?
Yeah, like 3.6.
3.6 million. And I would guess you never had more than 12 people on your team.
No.
Never.
No. When I grew I had like 22 people. I had like 22 people at one point, and I made less money.
Yeah, 100%. It's about having the right people in the right seat. And that comes down to understanding how to be a leader and how to build the business. So many of you guys may be newbies. You might be thinking, I want to hurry up and start hiring. I need to hire an acquisition person or disposition person. Nick told me so. That's incorrect. You need to be in the trenches working the grind. The same way, by the way, Nick made $3.6 million last year, and he is still in his office at 5:20 at night working with his team. How many of you out there would have thought Nick Perry would be sitting in his office still working at 5:20 after coming off a year of making 3.6 million? I almost guarantee all of you are like, I probably would not have thought that, right? I probably would have thought he was on a boat. I mean, he will be probably this weekend, but
yeah.
Who's counting? But guys, like I want these people to affect you in a real way about your active business and tangible deals that you're doing, because that allows you to push that into the wealth creation. So let's talk a little bit about, what your business does right now, kind of monthly, how you've built it out nationally a little bit, give people a taste of what is really out there. And then let's roll that into, how you've leveraged that amount of income, right? So again, this event, which you see the link here, guys, get there, period. It's $97. Get there. Scottsdale, Arizona, March 11th, is all about keeping this machine rolling, which I call active income, right? Transactional income. So you can go buy rentals. Like, how many trucks do you own at this point? How much oil? You own oil rigs. Like, you have all these opportunities that build in literally mailbox money. But it's because of this lead horse that you continue to push and drive down the field. So let's talk about the lead horse first. What is that?
So
go ahead.
Yeah, the lead horse is going to be, everything comes from your active income business, right? So whether that's wholesale, most of us on here would just talk wholesale, fix and flipping. that's your lead horse, and you need to get that up to create as much cash as possible, because that cash is going to allow you to buy real tangible assets that are going to take care of you long term. Wholesaling and flipping is a hamster wheel. If you go close a bunch of deals and then you go blow it on Gucci bags and Ferraris, you're going to have a tough life. That's going to be a long road for you. But if you do it smart, and I ate shit for fucking since 2014. I didn't start buying Ferraris until like less than a year ago.
2022.
Right. So, it wasn't an overnight process. I paid dues. I went ahead and, I delayed gratification for a long time. I continued to buy. I bought rentals. I bought a lot of single family rentals. I own mobile home parks. I have trucks. I've got, I've got oil and gas wells all over Texas, and I'm continuing to rapidly expand that. I own, drilling rigs. I own equipment. So I like hard, tangible assets. So, but none of that would have been made possible without, wholesale assignment fees and fix and flip money.
That's right. So let's talk about how you go national, right? I think that's the big key thing. I think you were a major component of that. I think our boy Sean was a major component of that. I've now jumped on that train, as you well know, is your team is helping my team really get this PPC dialed in. And anyone who is actively doing PPC or going to start, throw a comment below. I'd love to know who you are, and I'll actually make a personal introduction to Nick. But you have to be real. You have to be spending $5,000 a month marketing minimum. If you are that person, make a comment below, and I'll make a personal introduction to Nick to see how he can help you with your PPC. That being said, let's talk about the national game, right? I think there's a lot of talk about it. I think it's coming off as if it's easier than your own backyard, but I want to hear your thoughts and how you built it out, since I was working with you back in 15, maybe 16.
Yeah. I remember I got started doing it because I was in Austin. I was having trouble generating leads here. And I started marketing, but all the leads that I would get would come from different areas, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, and I would throw them out. If they weren't in my backyard, I'd just throw those leads out. And I was starving, my business wasn't getting enough leads. So Brandon and I decided, let's take a shot at some of these leads that are coming in from other areas. And lo and behold, these sellers were the same motivated sellers in our backyard with the same problems. And we were able to figure out how to underwrite the properties using online tools, be able to evaluate the properties and their condition, based on the phone calls and collecting photos from sellers. And then, we're resourceful enough to, figure out how to disposition these properties and make money. That was early. And I remember Justin coming to the masterminds, and he was like, dude, you're crazy, man. You need to dial in and get focused. And I was like, nah, I think I got this. I think I'm going to be all right.
No, bro. And it's funny because me back at that point, I was the king of stay in your own backyard. The market, the areas, the streets. I was the best place is your own backyard. And over time, I ventured into Dallas, and I ventured into San Diego, and and then I'm like, maybe Nick's onto something, right? And so the reality is this: it's all the same system, right? I don't care if it's in your own backyard, if it's in Alabama, if it's in Oklahoma, it's in Florida. It's the same thing. You comp properties relative to what's selling and relative to how you can buy it, right? And it's the same business model. Wouldn't you also say the key to all these people who are just getting started, the very first key that they absolutely must have is to find the right buyer?
100%. I mean, if you don't have anybody to sell your property to, then you're in bad shape. It doesn't matter how much of a discount you got it at. If you don't have anybody to sell it to, then what are you doing? So having a strong dispositions department and having the right tools and processes in place is what's going to allow you to do this at a high level effectively.
My guy, Mr. Michael McDonald, 90K on PPC last year. You know him?
I think so. I think we're friends on Facebook. He looks familiar.
All right, I'll make an introduction because I know he'll probably love to be able to talk to you and your team about how he can do better. So we'll make that introduction. Michael, hit me up because I think you have my number, right? So if you're still on watching, hit me up directly, or you can email me. Happy to make that introduction. So talking about that, again, let's talk about what's the reality for people who are like, dude, I got to get to this next level. What should they be shooting for As a wholesaler, as a fix and flipper, what would your key advice be? And then we can kind of move this conversation into what you've been able to build and now all those other incredible opportunities that you just mentioned, from all your single family rentals to your your mobile park. I mean, the fact that you own a mobile park, bro, that's legit.
Two
Mobile parks. I knew about the one. Did you just recently buy one at the end of last year or something?
Yeah, I got another one.
Dude, that is great. What part of the country are they in?
They're both in the same area in Indiana, like about an hour north of Indy.
So let me ask you something, because I get a lot of opportunity, and I'm sure you do too. And I'm like, man, I'm so scared of cold places. I know that sounds like sissy, but like Indiana gets cold, bro, and things break and bust, and you're just like, I don't have a team out there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have a guy I call and say, hey, dude, this pipe's busted. Do you care when you're buying? Does that run through your head about like, I don't know if I really want to take that risk?
We do. We got property management in place on site. They get their fee, so there's people out there. And the good thing about trailers is they're cheap to fix. $5,000-$10,000, 15 grand's a full gut job, remodel, everything to the nines.
No doubt.
So they're a lot easier to work on than a single family house. Say you got a pipe that busts in a single family house on a slab foundation, you're in rough shape. You're jackhammering out concrete.
Amen.
And a mobile home park, you remove the skirting, screw the new pipe in from Home Depot, and you're
rolling. Literally rolling again. All right. Well, I'm going to change my question actually. In terms of P&L, there's a lot of newbies just getting started, probably spending a little bit more money on marketing, trying to figure out what they should be doing. What are your thoughts about like how profitable someone should be, and when is the right time to turn on the gas with marketing?
Yeah, I mean, if you're a solopreneur, you maybe have one person on your team, you should be highly profitable. As you start to scale out, like I've got a fully built out operation, we fluctuate between 35 to 45% net revenue. Yep. But when you're by yourself, I mean, your net in terms of your P&L, you're probably going to be 70, 80%.
Yep.
Not a lot of money is going to be going out the door on payroll. And, you see this office and all the subscriptions and, my call rail bill is crazy. Like you're not going to have those sort of things. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting. I want to give a little love to our boy, Chris. I got you, dude. If you can reach out to me, I'll make sure to connect you. Again, I want to make sure the people that want this connection to Nick, I'm happy to do it. Make sure you're willing to spend at least $5,000 a month, right? He will be able to help you with PPC. I just need to make sure you're the right fit for his ability to help you. Hit me up, email me, send me a text, hit me up on Instagram, and I'll personally connect you guys, and we'll go from there. Cool. So I just want to give you a little love, Chris. So what I really wanted to do here is talk about like that idea of when do you pour it on, right? There's a lot of people like one deal a month, 2 deals a month. And I have my story, and it's when I realized direct mail really worked. I just knew my KPIs, and I said, oh, I get it. If I spend $20,000 a month, I make $100,000 a month. So why not spend more?
Right. It happened to me after I came back from a boardroom. It was probably, the second year I was in boardroom, and I really had it dialed in at that point. I understood my KPIs. I realized, if I spend, this much money, I get this much in return.
That's it.
And I had the confidence and, my KPIs to be able to pour that gasoline on. Mm-hmm. So I came back from boardroom one time, and I had a ton of credit cards from Fund and Grow. Yep. I got a freaking binder full of them, and I was like, you know what? It's time. So I went and I juiced my marketing up. I went and opened an office, got all new office furniture, and that's really what catapulted my business. Yep. I went from working in the house, being a 2-man team, to getting a fully scaled out operation because I had confidence in my KPIs enough to that I could go, and I was confident I could put it on a credit card and pay that shit off in 90, 120 days and be in a completely different ballpark.
100%. And that story is exactly my story. It was back, it was back in 2012. And me and our boy Sean Terry were just chopping it up, talking about Phoenix and direct mail. And he was like, how much are you spending right now? And I think I was spending about 20. He was like, oh, you got to be 40 or 50 a month, bro. Your numbers are too good. Because we were just talking about my KPIs, right? Understanding your numbers allows you to make so many different pivots and moves that you can actually exponentially just gain more revenue and more profitability based around you knowing your numbers. So, for example, if you bring in 100 leads and only get one deal, do I need more leads or do I need to be a better salesperson? I need to be a better salesperson, right? You're spending enough money. Stop, slow down. Like, you need to know how to convert because the numbers are telling you that, right? And so your story is very similar to mine, man. I said, well, screw it, because 40 grand a month at the time, even though we were doing the revenue, like, it was like, I'm putting it all on credit card, right? We're going, right? So every month was the platinum credit card. I was spending 40 grand a month on direct mail. This is back in 2012, right? So it was a decade ago. And you had the same thing. You went and got 20 credit cards and you said, well, let's let it ride. And they all probably had 0% interest, which is brilliant, by the way. Sorry to chime in here, but at Wealth Accelerator, I'm bringing my credit expert in specifically for this point. Because if you don't have good credit, and I know, Nick, you're all about this, you won't ever build business credit. You won't be able to take this leap of faith in your business. You need credit, and you need to know why you need credit. So
additionally, you shouldn't be running your business off your checking account anyways. Not in this business, because you're going to be your checking account's going to be high and low. That's how it is with real estate investors. And you don't want to be living that emotional roller coaster. It balances it out. Plus, you have purchase protection. You get credit card points. I can travel the freaking world anytime I want. You know,
dude, 100%. You absolutely need to be taking that advice. And so I'm bringing in my credit expert that turned my life around when I lost my home to foreclosure and the repo man took my car, because he showed me the value of having good credit. And part of it is, like, I was able to get American Express Platinum card after that. What did that do for me? I was able to put 40 grand a month every single month on marketing. What did that do for me? That ratcheted up into a multi-7-figure a year real estate business, because I understood the value of credit. So realize that that's so, so, so important. And I'm bringing in Anthony, who will speak at Wealth Accelerator event. Perfect time. I'll go ahead and pitch it. It's $97. You're going to sit down with Nick, get to the Wealth Accelerator event. There's also a virtual option. If you have to be virtual, you can't make it to Scottsdale, that's fine too. But get there, right? You just heard from Nick, Brett Tanner last night. Tomorrow, I have my creative finance specialist speaking to you guys. These are all people that will be there. By the way, Nick, how do you answer that? And then whoever you are, can you put your name in the comments so that we can give you some love, dude? Because for whatever reason, it doesn't show your name there. When Nick does come back, we'll get that answered. But whoever this is, can you put your name in the comments? I'm going through some questions. Tequila, what's up? John Gonzalez, what's up? Kimberly, love seeing all you people. All right, Nick's back.
I'm back in.
Yes, sir. We got Todd out of Cleveland. Landlord, how to wholesale. I love all this. So how would you answer this, Nick? What are the keys to maximizing your PPC?
Yeah, I mean, that's something that we could do, like an hour-long training minimum.
Totally.
I mean, you're in the 7-figure cartel, so how broad of a question that is.
Yeah, so broad.
Yeah.
You spend a lot of money and you say, let me win. Let's win. The reality is it would be worth, and again, whoever that is, please put your name in the comments so I can show you some love. If you're already doing PPC, I'll personally introduce you to Nick and his team to help you do that. If you want to, I'm happy to do that for anyone here on this call, because that's what they do, is they help work with people that are actively doing PPC. Nick works with my team on PPC to best generate as many leads as possible. So if that is something you are looking for, then awesome. How many leads?
I will say this though. There is strategy that goes into it. So if you're just spending money blindly, you're doing yourself a disservice. Like, you're running your business into the ground. If your cost per lead's high, you're hurting yourself, and you need to get the right information from the right people, whether that's me, Justin, I don't care who you get it from, but it's 2022. You need to be masters at digital marketing.
Yeah.
Whether you stay in wholesaling or you go to another business, you're going to need to get good. Google's not going anywhere. Bing's not going anywhere. So y'all need to figure it out.
Amen to that, brother. Amen to that. Yeah. And lastly, let's leave them with this, because I know I told you it was going to be 30 minutes, and I know you're, busy man. Let's talk about how this business is giving you the ability to buy 2 mobile home parks, Mac. All right, you just shoot me a text message and I'll put you together directly with Nick. Mac, obviously. Yeah, tell me about how you've been able to now. You're buying oil rigs. You're buying not moving trucks, but what kind of trucks are you buying?
I got semi trucks. I
Semi
just got
truck.
rid of all my trucks because they're a pain in my ass.
Too much work.
Well, yeah, I mean, they make money, and I do very well on my trucks, but I'm stepping over $1 to make a dime. I don't care about that, So
Totally.
I just sold a bunch of trucks, and I'm still buying trucks for my oil and gas company. I just bought 2 Mack trucks and 2 really nice low boys that I'm putting on them to transport equipment here and there. But I'm using them internally for my oil and gas company, not for shuttling dry goods around the country.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think the key here, guys, is I really wanted you to meet someone that is as active as ever in the transactional space of wholesaling, flipping. He's buying single family rentals. He has now leveraged that lead horse into building wealth through other ventures, such as 2 mobile home parks. How many actual mobile homes are in the 2 combined?
We got, I think, like 116.
I mean, I call those 116 doors, right? He owns 116 doors in mobile home parks, which is a beautiful business model if anyone understands mobile home parks. But I would tell you guys, these are the people that you need to talk to. These are the people that are going to help move your needle. And that lead horse needs to keep running, and you can't take your eye off it, right? And Nick knows that very, very well. So
yeah, that's the train that keeps everything on the tracks, which makes everything possible. I didn't do anything except for, and you know this, Justin, I didn't do anything except for wholesale and flip for years and years and years. So, I don't want you guys to get shiny object syndrome. There's power in focus in mastering one thing. Become really good at wholesaling and fixing and flipping, and you're going to have so much cash, you're going to have to figure out where to put it. And then you come see me.
He's got oil opportunity for you. Real oil opportunity. Guys, Nick, first of all, I appreciate you coming on here and jumping on for about 30 minutes tonight. Appreciate all you guys taking the time tonight to be here because you need to learn from me and Nick and Brett and all the other people I'm going to have. But the real key is be around these people. Get to the Wealth Accelerator event March 11th and 12th in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Fuck, it's in Scottsdale?
It's in Scottsdale, Arizona.
I thought it was in Austin, but okay, I'll be there.
So that means we probably got to get a flight and a hotel for you, baller.
Let's go. I'll bring my own flight.
Let's go.
Let's go.
But be around him. Shake his hand. He will give as much as you need to help you understand how to build this business so you can make $100,000 a month at least and leverage that $100,000 a month into building wealth. That is the ultimate goal for all of you. So come to Scottsdale. It's $97. For God's sakes, you got this. And spend 2 days with some of the best, biggest, most active real estate investors who are not just worried or concerned about making $100,000 a month, but how do you take that $100,000 a month and accumulate wealth? That's what
look, guys. I mean, I don't know how you're only selling this ticket for $97, but
it's a new game. I don't know why I am either.
All right, because the caliber of people that are going to be there: Pace, Jamil, Cody Sperber, clever investor, yourself, Brent Tanner. Like, this is a packed event that if you're not making at least multiple 7 figures right now, and you're not there, you're literally like missing the boat. I don't care what you got going on. Cancel it and be in Scottsdale, Arizona here in a couple weeks.
Dude, amen to that. I appreciate you, brother. I look forward to connecting. Yeah. And by the way, for everyone who knows, he actually lives in Miami. I live in Miami now, and I've yet to see his ass. That's how busy this man is.
I'm working, man.
He puts his head down. He runs, man. So appreciate you. Love you, brother. And we will connect in Miami before March 11th to 12th, I hope, at least.
Sounds good, man. Well, keep me posted. We'll see you guys in Scottsdale.
All right, y'all. See you later. Appreciate you.
Later.